try to present my screen here. Here is my presentation. I'm going to be doing best practices to support second career teachers. My name is Christopher Baldwin. The purpose of the study is for needs support for second career teachers. And while studying second career teachers might also run into some support needs required for first career teachers as well. We're going to look at similarities, differences, and potential surprises. From the literature review so far, major findings are second career teachers need support through professional development, mentoring, teacher residency programs, and other needs as well. First career teachers, I'm finding administrative support and student teaching are helpful. Obviously, a second career teacher doesn't get the benefit of student teaching, but first career teachers also need mentors, so there is some overlap. What are the best practices necessary to support an individual's successful transition from private industry to a second career as a teacher? That sounds like a great research question. And while studying that, I will also determine secondary. Is there a difference in levels or types of support between first career teachers and second career teachers? One would assume that all teachers need similar support, but through various lexicons and vocabulary understanding, second career teachers are going to come into an environment where they're not very clear on some of the terminology used in teaching. Our theoretical framework is going to be Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Obviously, needs must be met in order to grow as a person. We're going to identify the scaffolding needs supported. The conceptual framework will be looking at communities of support through best practices using growth and professional development as models. Our qualitative research approach is to use case studies. I'm going to be looking at least 5 candidates seeking alternative licensure through the Carson Newman program. I'm going to deliberately select alternative licensed candidates. They're going to have to be currently employed and enrolled at Carson Newman. I'm going to be doing a survey at first to identify some common themes. Then I'll be using my research journal throughout to collect interesting findings and record all my notes. I will conduct interviews after the survey for each individual. And then we'll have a focus group where I can identify similarities and differences and see what levels of interest each person has in each of their supports. I will definitely be using open coding as my main technique for disseminating my data. I'm going to use transcriptions through interviews and observation. I will use a computer program if it becomes necessary. At this point, this is open for debate. It may or may not be necessary. I'll try to keep up with all my information using sticky notes or note cards. I'm going to highlight themes as it goes. I will probably find that as I go that my initial method of organizing the data wasn't good enough, and I'll have to come up with a much better plan, as is already happening with my literature review. For trustworthiness, I'm just going to go with what was suggested. And for credibility, I'll use triangulation and have members looking it over. Transferability, I'll make sure it's sufficiently thick. I will have plenty of description in my context. My dependability is going to be using an audit trail of all my information to be able, I can go back and look at everything I've done. I will also have a peer debriefer who's already gone through the program, help me understand how dependable and reliable I may be or may not be, as a matter of fact. I'll use triangulation, peer debriefing, search for discorming evidence in negative cases, and use my reflexive journal as well for confirming and objectivity of my study. I'm going to use the NIH approval method, make sure I get all my consent forms through Carson Newman. Since I'm using Carson Newman students, the NIH approval process will go through Carson Newman. Techniques for protecting them, I want to use identity protection in all forms. I will not identify any of the teachers in any way, shape, or form in reporting, storing, or when talking to my friends or my peers at school as well. Thank you. If you have any questions about my research, please let me know. I really hope you approve this, and I'm looking forward to an exciting last year at Carson Newman. See if this worked.